So they'll be calling you a radical. You know, I'm the only one, that really gave Rashid any media attention whatsoever when his college football career. He's finally, I don't think people realize this here in Ogden, Utah, well, anywhere. I don't think they really get it that he's played for the league minimum for all these years. This is a guy that nobody wanted. This is a guy that got one scholarship offer in the entire country, Jay Hill, Weber State. This is a guy that tore his ACL in a game that I told him don't play. This is a guy that got zero media coverage. This is important. This is a guy that got absolutely fucking zero media coverage his whole college career. Not from local, the Ogden Standard never touched him. KSL, KUTV, none of it. Weber State school paper, no one touched him. No one, I did. Kevin Blanch, I'm the only one that gave him any media coverage, any whatsoever. Look it up. The only interviews Rashid Shaheed has ever done, ever, as a college player. There's two of them out there. With Kevin, my grandson, who's playing soccer right there right now, was holding it. You know, Rashid was so friendly and good. What a story. Rashid Shaheed made a practice squad by this much. I don't think people realize this. I mean, I talked to him before that. I said, I wouldn't play Rashid. You're going to go to the combine. Dirty, nasty, illegal hit. Took out his ACL. I talked to him at the spring game the year right before he signed with the Saints, and I'm like, dude, you even got an 8? What's going on, man? I promoted. I talked to scouts. I did everything I could to promote this guy. You know, because I knew what he was. I knew how good. He's not just speed. This is where people make the mistake. He's not just earthquake, lightning, speed, big play, Rashid. The dude's got he's never been used properly. Never. You know, until he got to Seattle. Oh, they use him. And he's going to be he'll be a Hall of Famer. I used to call him the next Bob Hayes. As you know, I used to call him the Rocket. And so then I changed his name because why? Lightning struck the booth at the University of Utah when he ran the kickoff back. Whittingham shooting both legs. Now Whittingham and Jay Hill back together. Okay, don't get me going. But anyway, I knew what he was. He was never used properly at Weber State. Never. As great as Jay Hill was. And Jay Hill won great special teams. He used him properly on special teams. Big time, the great Jay Hill. Jay Hill's a defense guy. Offense, he never got used properly. I knew what he was. I've been saying that. So Rashid makes the Saints practice squad. I remember talking to Rashid. I says, dude, you even got an agent? Not really. I mean, my uncles represent. The only media, I've always wondered about this. I wonder if he'd ever played in the NFL if it wasn't for Kevin Blanch doing my work. Of course, I'll never get any credit, you know? But it's okay. I mean, he deserves this contract that he's got, finally. $34 million guaranteed. $51 million over 3 years. You know, I said he's going to get between 15 and 20 million. I can do math. You know, that's what he got. It's what you got a long way to make up, and I'm so glad. I'm thrilled that he's back in Seattle. I mean, that team's great. You know, hopefully they can clean up those two DBs that acted like, you know, little leaguers, taunting on the sideline. They're damn lucky. They're damn lucky that they didn't lose that game against the Rams because of that. I would cut that kid. That dude would not play for me ever again. Ever. Either one of them. You know, the two penalties. Very childish. Very immature as hell. Almost cost that team a Super Bowl. You know. And I told you that Thursday night game will determine the Super Bowl. I said that'll be the game of the year. No, and without Rashid Shaheed, they don't win that game. No way. And people this is where, even now, you know, as much media as he gets now, even now, people do not respect his hands. You look it up. Look it up. When the last time he dropped a ball? He don't ever drop a ball. Catches per attempts, he's the leader in the history of the NFL. I remember he's played for 4 years under a practice squad. Yes, the 2-year practice squad's a 4-year deal. Look it up. Look at his yards per catch. It's the highest in the history of the NFL. He was that way at Weber State. I would scream. I did the play-by-play the whole time he was there, and I'd scream, get the ball to fucking Rashid. Get the ball. What the fuck's the matter? Are you guys blind? You know? one day I'll get my dues for helping him out, and he's a great person, and I'm thrilled for him. Thrilled. It's a miracle. Absolutely, his story's a miracle. He defied his own parents. He defied everybody. He's a world-class sprinter. He's gonna run at USC. I remember when he first got here, Weber State, right here, and I was sitting with one of the young recruits. I'm like, who the fuck is that? And he says, that's Rashid Shaheed. He was running. I says, he's running Rashid Shaheed. I thought he was USC. I mean, because I was a San Diego guy and here. I knew what he was. What? No, he's playing football. I'm like, oh, bullshit. Bullshit. No, he's playing football here. By the way, Baggett called him Rashid even in his senior year. This is how little of a respect he got around here. I'm the only one that gave him. A lot of people don't know this. That he played for the league minimum. Unguaranteed. League minimum. For 3 years. You know, the 2-year practice squad deal is really a 4-year deal. He got the 4th year. But he finally got paid. And he took a huge amount of risk this year. A huge amount of risk not signing with someone. You know, and by the way, the Broncos really fouled up. I think the Broncos would have won the Super Bowl if they signed him. I thought for sure they would. Did you realize what the Saints got him for? Nothing. Really nothing. A 3rd round pick. What? But he made the Saints practice squad and played for the league minimum. I remember talking to him that spring game, and, you know, me and him visited at Torrey. He was almost in tears then, you know, and I'm like, what a story. What an athlete. What a person. It's pretty amazing. Well, it's real amazing. The only, you know, the one thing I do have respect the most for Rashid is he would take time and talk to my grandsons, and, you know, and he was a big mentor to them. And by the way, they're sprinters, they're runners, that, you know, but they're soccer crazy. But so Rashid gets paid. I named him, you know, I used to just don't kick to the rocket. I used to call him Rocket Rashid, you know, early years. Then I changed it to Lightning after he ran the kickoff back at you and Lightning struck the booth and had to delay the game for an hour and a half. Well, now they call him Earthquake. You know, he caused the earthquake. I mean, that's what they call it in Seattle. His first touch in the NFL was, a 44-yard touchdown? Reverse around? His first, who couldn't do that? His second touch was like a 58-yard pass from Dalton touchdown. His first touch in an NFL playoff game to the house. I'm the guy that named it the Rashid Shaheed rule when they changed the kickoff rule. He's re-signed with Seattle. Seattle immediately go to the favorite to win the Super Bowl again. Now, if they'd have lost Rashid, but he got a good deal. Well, he got what he deserves. $51 million for 3 years, $34 million guaranteed. He finally got paid. You got to be so relieved, it's unbelievable. You know, what a story. So, you know, I changed it from Rocket Rashid to Lightning Rashid. Then I changed it from Lightning to Big Play. You know, so he's caused an earthquake. He's caused a lightning. I mean, he'll be an NFL Hall of Famer. And I think he'll be so relieved because he's finally got the money. He couldn't have been relieved. Playing with that unguaranteed contract, it's over. It's been a hell of a journey. So, good on you, Rashid. But the only person that ever gave him any credit in the country, and that's unarguable. Play back the tape here. And my grand says, hey, Grandpa, look at this. Here's a TikTok video. Somebody chopped up in 7. He's like, look at that. That TikTok video's got, you know, several million views. And he says, that's your interview with him they're using. Yeah, because it's the only one that's out there. And I'm a fool to do your dirty work. But I got stuck here. I got leukemia. And I'm born and raised here. And I was glad to do it. And I got to see these great athletes and these great players do their thing. Not so great now, you know. But maybe they'll turn it back around. So Rashid gets paid. What I told everybody, he's going to get between 15 and 20 million a year. That's what he got. 51 million for 3 years, 34 of it guaranteed. He finally got paid. He finally got paid. What a historic day, you know. And so I'm the only person ever gave him any meeting, ever, Kevin Blanch. Good on you, Rashid. Go get us another ring. Stay in tune.